So let's move right along inside the collections page of the photography of Avada Theme, and I'm going to share with you some particulars about how to make changes to this page as well. So if I click right here and I go to collections, it's going to bring up that particular page. Now, similar to what we did before, working smart, we're going to go and make a copy of that. Now I'm going to share with you how we can then relink it to the correct pages later in a subsequent video. But this way we don't have to damage or interfere with the original integrity of the theme, especially for learning purposes. A very cool production technique. So I'm going to come in here and do collections version 1. Again, this basically means your particular version of that page. So I'm going to save the draft. I'm not going to publish, I'll just save that right now. Could have to get into make changes, save changes. Now, a couple of things I want to point out that the Avada Theme, if you want to make a responsive design, something we haven't talked about yet, that the basic template width is set to 100%. If you use percentages, that's going to be responsive depending on the size of the tablet or the phone or the desktop computer. So we'll talk more in detail in subsequent videos. Again, I just want to get you up and running and take it one step at a time. All right, so if we come down here, everything is pretty much the same as what we talked about before. I have the portfolio section, and I can edit which one of those portfolios I want to see. Now, again, if you go to the front page here, and I publish this, preview page, that's going to bring up a brand new window. So I just want to kind of compare the two and share with you the difference here. So if I scroll down to the bottom, here's my collection of photography that I showed for this particular page. And then I have down here, if I scroll down here, I have different testimonials. So if I click here, here's what Ainsley Adams says. Here's what Ernst says. Here's what Robert says, to be frank. Robert Frank? Hey, to be frank? Yeah, he's Frank. I thought it was Robert. Anyway, who's on first? All right, so if I go back into here under Edit Page, you'll see that I have something called Testimonials. Now, I will share with you how to make changes to this, but more importantly, where did this come from? So that basically came under the elements. So if I click down here, let's say that this did not exist. I would click elements, and based on these choices, then I can pick whatever element that I want. In this particular case, I can pick the element of lost password or user login or video, but in this particular case, I'm going to pick testimonials. That's how that particular element was put there. So again, if you're starting out totally from scratch, benefit from the elements by clicking right here based on these choices, because software simply comes down to choices. I'm going to cancel that. So if I click right here, it's working smart. Let's say I want to add new elements. So here's a cool production technique, and this is what I want you to benefit from my experience using the different themes. I'm going to click right here to edit this. Now if I click the other icons, that's going to duplicate that. Very cool production technique here. So let's say that I just started with this first one, and I set this up in such a way that I want to show his avatar, not etc., etc. I want to put his company information in here. What I'm trying to share with you is, if in fact you want this to have a certain property and feel and look to it, then go ahead and do that for that first one. Now, rather than reinvent the wheel from that, because again, very important step here. Avada makes it very simple if you know how to use the tools. So if I design this first one in such a way, I'm not going to create a brand new one from scratch. This would make a brand new one from scratch. And then I got to start the whole process over as far as the property settings, as far as the color or the position or the linkage, etc., etc., etc. So what I want to share with you is don't do that. Make your first one and simply duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. So as an example, if I now want to put a new one in here, and we'll hit the edit button there, and we'll just call this, this is a girl I knew a long time ago. Now, if you want to put a female avatar in there, we'll just make this slightly different just because we can. We could put our company link, etc., etc., and we'll just put something like, what should we quote, Walt Whitman or something, or put some Nietzsche or Schopenhauer, James Farrell. I'll just put, I cried when I had no shoes until I saw the girl with no feet. Now, what does that have to do with a testimonial? Nothing. I just thought that was really cool to put in there. So if I save that and save the changes, now the only difference in this particular case is we're going to show the avatar. So if I go ahead and publish that, and then preview the changes here. Now keep in mind again, depending on your browser, that this might be the old version of the changes. So if I refresh that page, let's see if that brought in the new version. Because sometimes it gets stuck inside of your cache. And it looks like it did. So there's the first one, second, third, fourth. Okay, and it says the avatar to let people know that she was a female. Not important that she was or wasn't, etc., etc. So that's how you can make changes to that particular page. So that we're making changes to the collection page using different elements. Now, once again, you get up and running here. I'm going to have a series of videos that will go into more detail, but I just want to make it really simple for you to take an existing theme and make changes to that theme one step at a time. So let's move on to the next page, the next type of properties, and let's have fun with this. Hey, you're not smiling. Why aren't you smiling? Hey, the new Avada Theme is out, 5.0. Woo!